Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about a very important upcoming Sephora sale. And I thought I would do a get ready with me, talking through step by step all the products available at Sephora. These are curated items. Some of these are repeat purchases, tried and true. And I just thought it would be a good way to recommend products for you for the sale. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Now, as you know, I have my online beauty consulting service. This is a one-on-one, a video chat with me, so perhaps you have picked up some new makeup for yourself and you just want a little bit of guidance, maybe some help assembling a blush and a lipstick and an eyeshadow trio together. That is basically why my service exists. So to make an appointment for yourself, go ahead and click the link down below. Okay, so we're just gonna do a full face. I really just have skincare going on now, nothing else. We're gonna go layer by layer. All of these items are sold at Sephora. Some of the brushes I'm going to be using, a lot of them are Sephora brand, some of them are not. Now let's talk about the details of this upcoming sale. So starting October 28th, that's the sale date. That's the beginning of the date, October 28th until November 7th. That's the entire span. Now, depending on what level of VIB, etc. you are, there are some date changes. So if you're part of the Rouge program, that's October 28th until November 7th. And if you're part of the VIB category, that's November 1st to the 7th. And then if you're just an insider, that's November 3rd to the 7th. And there's going to be a 30% off on Sephora collection only. So some of the makeup brushes are Sephora collection, that's 30% off. If you're part of the Rouge category, it's 20%, and VIB is 15, and Insider is 10. This is extremely standard. It's the same formula we've seen time and time again. All right, let's start off with the face base. I'm going into my Benefit Gimme Brow Plus. This is a tinted brow gel. This is the mini here. This is the shade 3, but this is a brow volumizing brow setter. And they have a full size and a mini size. So I'm using the mini today. I like a natural brow nowadays. I like to just use like a tinted brow gel. I go in, I like to set them in place because left to their own devices, my eyebrows like to just look like different continents, really. So I just like to go in with a bit of tinted brow gel, and you can use like the tint, you can just like sort of press it on the brow like that if you want to add more color. And what's nice about how tiny this brow gel is that it's so precise. You really only get it where you want it to. You're not going to, because you know sometimes brow gel brushes are so big, they're almost as big as like a mascara wand. And so I accidentally get it on my skin on a very regular basis. But with this one, it's really goof proof. But they do have another brow product called a goof proof. A couple days ago, I overplucked right here and it's still red. There we go. Brows are done, light and natural. Now for the eyeshadow primer, it must be the NARS eyeshadow primer. Now I don't know what is going on, but I see it at Sephora as sold out. What is this? I don't approve. So immediately put yourself on the waiting list, get an email notification when it comes back, because this, in my opinion, the NARS eyeshadow primer is the best eyeshadow primer in the biz. I've tried so many. I have oily, hooded eyes, so I need a primer. I can't just use a little bit of concealer and hope that it works out. It never works out. I need real deal eyeshadow glue. Now for the eyeshadows, I am going into Dior. Yes, one and only Christian Dior. They have several of these 5 shadow palettes available at Sephora. I own all of them, I'm quite certain, and I'm going to use Jungle here. This is number 579 Jungle. It gives me fall foliage, but it also has different colors. So I think today I'm gonna lean really peachy and brown. Last time I did more olivey green and it was a bit darker, but I think today it's just going to be, I don't know what's going on outside. It's going to be lighter and peachier. I have grand plans to do a ranking video of every single one of my Dior 5 shadow palettes, because at this point I think I own every single one. I just need to psych myself up to swatch every single one, because it's a lot of work to swatch every single one. It's like a few hours of swatching. I just need to like psych myself up. So I'm actually using an Angie Hot and Flashy brush here. This is the A505, not Sephora, but still very good. So I'm going into this peachy color here, and I'm just going to sweep it on the lid here. Now I'm going into another Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A504. It's like a nice fluffy brush here. And I'm going into the brown center shade here. And I'm going to just place this in the outer corner here and then in the crease. The Sephora sale is really a great time to purchase items that you know you're going to use, whether it's makeup remover, cleanser, sunscreen, things like that. Even if you know that the one that you're using now is not finished, it's a good time to just get a backup, because as long as you don't open those products, they're going to stay good. And you know you're going to use, you need makeup remover, you need a cleanser, you need sunscreen, like those types of basics, those are good to get now. But of course, if you're like me and you are just a makeup fanatic, makeup is always a great thing to get during the sale, because we love color, don't we? We just love fun, colorful things, whether it's eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, whatever it is. Obviously, if you're here, you enjoy those things too. I'm just taking a little bit of that brown shadow and sweeping it under the bottom lashes here. But now I'm going into eyeliner and mascara. I have this Givenchy Kohl Couture waterproof liner. This is the shade black, but this is a waterproof, very creamy eyeliner, and they have a few shades. They used to have more colorful ones, but now I think they only have black and brown left. So I'm gonna draw a thin line on top and maybe go in the top waterline as well. What's nice about these liners is that they're very, very creamy. They're called Kohl waterproof, and they seem to have the perfect balance of a very easy to apply kohl, but then also is waterproof at the same time. For the mascara, I'm going into my Dior Show mascara in the shade black. It's actually called Pro Black, but anyway, this is a sample here, but you can get this full size. I think they also have some holiday kits. I think the holiday kits are part of the sale. I'm not 100% sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the holiday kits are part of the sale too. I'm going to add just a touch of this black liner here on the bottom lashes, just a little bit, just to define a bit more. And also I'm going to go into a bit of a lip treatment here because my lips feel a little bit dry. I'm going into my Guerlain Kiss Kiss Bee Glow. This is the shade Honey Glow. It's like a very nudie natural product here, like the color, and it says hyaluronic acid. It's just a really gorgeous tinted lip balm, but it's really long lasting and it has hyaluronic acid, so it just feels nice and has a little bit of a nudie lip color. It smells a little bit like honey, but I kind of wish it smelled more like honey personally, but it is nice. See, as you can see, it's sort of turning more nudie, a little bit peachy as I'm speaking. Let's move on to the face. So for the primer, I have a sample here of the Dior Dream Skin. This is skincare meets makeup. So this is skincare, but technically you use this as your last step before makeup. And this has niacinamide in it. So if you have enlarged pores, I feel like I'm seeing more pores like in the center of my face. The rest is fine, but just like around here, I'm starting to see more pores. This is great to just help refine the grain of your pores, just to even out skin tone, discoloration, things like that. It's also meant to be good for dark spots as well, and they have refills of this. So when you purchase this, this is available through different holiday kits from the brand. But like, let me know in the comments if you pick up the kits during the holiday sale, because I don't remember. But I hope that you can purchase the kits with the sale because it's even better. But anyway, you can purchase this full size, different sizes, mini sizes, but you can also buy the refill. So instead of purchasing the whole thing full size, just the refill afterwards, which is nice. For the foundation, I'm going into my Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Foundation. I have the shade here 4C305. So this one here is the matte version. There's a glow formula and a matte formula. And I have to say, I am leaning more and more towards matte finish foundations. If you had told me this years ago, I would not have believed you because I have more dry, dehydrated skin. So I typically prefer glowing formulas. But I find that a lot of times a glow foundation tends to be too glowy. Like I want to look healthy, but not in a fake way. And there's something about this matte formula. It isn't too drying, it isn't cakey. It just has like a soft velvet finish. That's really the best way to describe it. It's not matte in a dry way. I think before, foundations that were matte tended to be dehydrating and just sort of like sucked the life out of you. I think before, when companies heard people say they wanted matte, they thought, okay, you want to just be dried out and just have no luminosity left. But now I think they understand. We want a soft velvet. And this foundation brush that I've been using here, I haven't even told you what it is. How rude of me. This is Sephora brand. This is the 56. This is the foundation brush. So I use it for foundation, tinted moisturizer, and also for primers as well. It's really nice. It's dense, but also fluffy at the same time. So you can sort of just disperse whatever you're applying very naturally and very quickly. And so this will be 30% off. It's one of my favorite makeup brushes, period. So if you can get it 30% off, may as well. Now for the concealer, I'm going into my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer here. I have been meaning to review this and time has just slipped away from me. I have the shade 4.5 Fair. I will do a review of this. If you would like a full review, let me know. I was planning on doing it earlier and then life happened, so yeah. I like to leave my concealer on my skin just for a few seconds just to let it set. I find that this covers way more regardless of the brand, regardless of the concealer. So just, you know, finish your coffee, answer an email, whatever. I want to talk to you about hair because recently I have been wearing my hair straight in a lot of my videos. And guess what? I've been doing it myself. I figured out how to do it. And there's a couple products at Sephora that I purchased and you could purchase at a discount. I unfortunately purchased them full price, but you can buy them at a discount and I would recommend doing that. The first item here is from Olaplex. This is number 9. This is a heat hair protectant. So it's a serum, but it's a heat protectant. If you're blow drying, if you're using a flat iron, which I do, this is excellent. It protects the hair because heat damage is real. Like if you don't believe that heat damage is real, I don't know what to tell you. You can certainly break and damage your hair, so you want a good heat protectant. And this Olaplex number 9 is great because the products that I'm mentioning here are the ones that my hairdresser told me to get. I bought them and they're wonderful. So this is Ali approved, this is professional hairstylist approved. So number 9, if you blow dry your hair, if you straighten your hair, get the Olaplex number 9. Now we have the actual hair straightener. This is from T3. The brand is called T3 and this is the Lucia 1 inch. So this is a hair straightener. So, you know, I'm assuming you've seen one of these before, but what's great about this is that this has multiple different settings because naturally I have curly wavy hair, but I have more fine texture. I don't have very coarse hair. And this has like 10 different settings. So depending on your hair type and your hair texture, you can pick what heat to go up to. I don't remember how hot it gets, but it gets really, really hot or medium or lower. So depending on your hair texture, depending on the level of hair damage you already have, you can adapt it because some hair straighteners, they just have one setting on and off, which is fine, but depending on your hair texture and the issues you've had, it might actually damage your hair way worse. So this is, again, hairstylist recommended and Ali approved because I've been using this. It's great. It's wonderful. I bought it full price. You should definitely buy it at a discount because 20% off is a really big deal. But yeah, the T3 Lucia 1 inch hair straightener, wonderful. while we are talking about straightening hair, I also use this Revlon brush. It is covered in hair. How gross. Sorry about that. But this is a Revlon brand. And this, you plug it in and you straighten your hair. The issue is this really has like 3 settings: cool, low, and high. It is not as finessed as the T3. So what I do is when I finish one section, I turn it off immediately because this gets really, really hot. And it's very affordable, like it's very, very affordable, but it doesn't have as many nice settings as the T3. T3 does have a more finessed, refined version of this where it has different settings, and depending on your hair type, you can just finesse it a bit more, whereas this doesn't really have that. So if you're gonna get this, when you do one section, turn it off right away. Let it cool down for a few seconds and then restart it and do another section because it gets really hot and we're just trying to avoid hair damage here. All right, let's go ahead and blend out my concealer. I am using my Sephora Pro brand concealer brush. This is number 57. And I just love this because like, look at this. It's so easy, so quick to diffuse concealer. Maybe I applied a little bit too much concealer. Now for the face powder, let's go into Givenchy. This is their holiday release. Look at this. It looks like a big silver puffer jacket because that's the inspiration. Like so 90s. I love it so much. I love the silver decoration here. Ugh, it's so squishy too. It's like a little stress toy. This shade here is number 12, Lumière Polaire Polar Lights. So again, this is the holiday release here. There was only a few items in their holiday collection, which I kind of like that it's very small. It's not super overwhelming. So I'm just taking this color here. And then using a BK Beauty brush, this is the 104, just any loose powder brush will do, just like this. Making a bit of a mess, and I'm just sweeping this here. It's brightening, it's, I was gonna say refining, but it's blurring at the same time without being drying. It's just giving you that beautiful, soft velvet finish. It's a gorgeous powder. For the bronzer, I'm going into NARS. This is the Laguna Cream Bronzer, and I have the shade 02, or Laguna 02. I love their cream bronzers. This could definitely be an underrated beauty product because, you know, for me, I have always been more of a powder bronzer person, but I just tried this one here from NARS, and there's something about a cream bronzer. Like, look at this. It's just melting into the skin, just diffusing so quickly. Because it's cream, it sort of looks more natural than a powder one. It just melts into the skin, barely any work. And this again is an Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A507. I just really like the Angie Hot and Flashy brushes. Sorry, I know it's not Sephora brand, but you know, it's still really good. And you can tell that I have naturally curly hair because my baby hairs, that's always how you can tell. That's how I can tell when someone has naturally curly hair. You can always tell from like the roots here, from the baby hairs, what they're doing. I'm going back into my Jungle palette here, and I'm going into this top pearlescent champagne color with one of the sponges. I just want to add a little bit of lightness in the inner corner here. Now for the blush, let's go on to NARS again. This is part of the Air Matte Blush series, and I have the shade here called Freedom. It's a nice color. It's not too pink, it's not too warm, it's just a perfect blend in the middle. So I'm going to take some with my finger here. Just apply it around here. And I'm using a Chanel brush. This is the 104. Now for the highlighter, I'm going into a liquid highlighter here from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Transcend, and I think it'll be a nice pairing with this eyeshadow here. Now the thing about Rare Beauty is that a little bit goes an extremely long way, so I am going to be very careful with this. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. That's way too much, I can guarantee it. And using this multi-purpose brush from Shiseido, I'm just going to dip into it a little bit, go like this, and then apply it. I often like to apply liquid highlighter underneath my foundation, almost like it's a primer, but it's also nice to use it over top too. Just depends on my mood. I'm just going to take a little bit more and apply it. It's really nice. It's like rose gold and it does match my eyeshadow nicely. It's luminous, but not too much. But again, I think doing what I did is really key because I don't know, like Selena Gomez, when she was like, oh, you want highlighter? You want blush? I will give you all the highlighter, all the blush. Like everything from her is so pigmented, which is good. It's just very intense. So just, you know, be careful with it. If you just go like this, you may have a bit more than you bargained for. For the lips, I'm going into this Buxom Powerline Plumping Liner here. This is the shade Smooth Spice. It's definitely a nudie Your Lip But Better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I think I'll fill in the lip or most of the way. We'll do like the contours. Over top, I'm going into this Bare Minerals Lip Gloss Balm in the shade Zen. It's like a nice wine berry color. I just think it'll be a nice balance with the look today. Like it's a berry color, but it's not too deep. And it smells amazing. It smells fruity and sweet. And it's a lip gloss, but also balm at the same time. So it's nice and nourishing. I think I want just a little bit more blush. Sometimes when you add the lip color and it doesn't seem to pop, adding a little bit more blush can be just the trick that you need. We have two last final steps. We have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Setting Spray. I love this setting spray. This is the mini version. You can get the full size, the mini, whatever. It really just helps your makeup last all day. So let's go ahead and do a spritz. And our final touch will be perfume. I'm going into Guerlain, Mon Guerlain. This is the bottle here. I had it engraved, a special occasion, I think this was last year or the year before, but this is the bottle here. I got the full size 100 ml. There are different sizes to choose from. This is a gourmand vanilla, warm, sweet perfume. If you are a fan of Lancôme La Vie est Belle, Dior Addict, or even Dior Poison, these like rich, sweet, warm, enveloping perfumes. This is perfect for fall, winter. I mean, I wear it all year round, but if you want something a bit richer, a bit cozier, Mon Guerlain is perfect for this time of year. So yeah, that is a full face of everything Sephora. Everything here is sold at Sephora, available for sale very, very soon. Let me know what you think of this format. Typically when I've done these Sephora recommendation sales, I just sort of talk through different products, and I was thinking of doing that, but then as I was sitting there I was like, well, I may as well just show you everything that I'm wearing and everything that I recommend, because there's a lot from Sephora that's on sale and that's really good. I think it's just going to be up to you to pick. I mean, you may already have your cart ready and willing to go, so let me know what you think. Do you prefer this format or do you prefer the classic format? Sound off in the comments below. And also, any of the previous recommendations videos that I've done, they still hold up. So even if you watch those that are like a year or 2 years old, the recommendations still hold true. But anyway, I think that is all I have for you guys for today. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.